Actually, yep. Oh, so we're on. Hello and welcome to Heroes and Generals live dev stream number 50. It's a nice big round number. I think probably special things will happen today. We have also a special guest with us. More on that later. So we will start by saying that last week we had to cancel because everybody had the plague. Me and Jakob also, right? Did you have the plague? Were you?
No.
You were probably not here then, or
I was
something.
just on vacation.
You were on vacation, so
yes.
That's a form of plague. And the servers were sick too, and that's why we have Dr. Goonstah with us, Reto.Goonstah, who is we have the complicated job title at the bottom of the screen, I think, or it was there before, with us to explain what was going on last week.
We routinely run virus scans on everything in here, and I think Wednesday last week we saw one of the antivirus programs started flagging something, and we initially thought it was just a false positive. We get those quite a lot, and it just means that the antivirus program thinks there's a problem when there actually isn't, and it happens a lot.
And by the way, I forgot to present you. I'm always getting ahead of myself. Why didn't we see you here before? You're not the guy who does the the new guns and new vehicles. You are doing.
Well,
what exactly?
I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Mostly tying stuff together and being sort of the last resort when something doesn't work or someone doesn't know something, or
so basically you're making sure that what do we called it before, the nervous system or the spinal fluid of the game is healthy.
Yeah, you can say that.
So it's all the things you don't know are happening. He's making sure that it works basically. So that's like very advanced Jedi levels.
Some of it is very basic.
So it's a. Yeah, I think it's very hard to get more into details. But so you were monitoring what was going on with that Trojan, and so we don't know if it was positive. For sure.
Well, I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But we definitely didn't know. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday last week. But it was on his to-do list to investigate. But then Friday, a lot of antivirus programs started flagging it, and we started taking it a lot more seriously then. And we quickly discovered where it was internally, and saw that it was on the test and the prototype server, so we thought we should make a public announcement as soon as possible, and we did. At the time, we still didn't know exactly what it was, or how dangerous it was, how much it spread. We actually still don't. It's a Trojan horse, which means it...
Lost your anti-static wristband.
I can't go anywhere without it. Which means it can download pretty much anything. However, it doesn't seem to have spread on its own in here. It's been spread via the way we share code between ourselves, which is unfortunate, but we put a stop to that now. But it doesn't seem to have been activated, so to speak, in here. So we are not that concerned with how dangerous it is, but it's hard to tell, and we haven't investigated in depth. But we've cleaned it, and it seems to be gone from everything now. That's what I've been doing for the past week or so.
But it did set us back a few days of production.
Yeah, we shut down pretty much everything in here a couple of days, and then we started getting the servers back up and running, and it did cost us a few days.
So, as we agreed that it was not classified to mention where it came from,
well,
might as well say it. It's a
can't
warning to everybody.
We can't say for sure where it came from, but it seems to have originated on the workstation that is being used for analyzing the cheating that's used for Heroes and Generals. And of course we keep an eye on how people attempt to cheat, and we download that.
So when you download cheats, sometimes there's a Trojan in it. Yeah, just saying.
And that machine is
Yeah.
it is isolated from the rest of the office, but it got through there somehow. Probably human error. Someone was tired or whatever.
But we made sure that it's not happening again, right?
Yeah, we've
That kind of
the machines we have that actually build the game, all the files that people download when they play the game, they're now more isolated and more protected, so this shouldn't happen again.
I think actually we have on our Steam forum we have posted an announcement. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Robotron is pasting it in the chat right now, or if not, maybe Jakob could, maybe Bjarne could do that.
Paste this?
That link.
I try to copy paste it.
Yeah, can you?
Fuck!
No, this is not Google Paper.
Can you see it here? Everybody screenshot.
So, but yeah, so that gives the details about the Trojan and how to test for it.
But it only made it onto our test and prototype servers, and we did run a public test on the prototype server a couple of weeks ago, and it was there at the time. So anyone who was in there should read the post about how to clean up.
Well, thanks for that. I guess we can move on to like happier stuff. With so we were not entirely completely done showing what's coming in the next update of the game, which is called Young, which is coming. We keep saying soon, but now it's going to be very soon. Trademark, and because we're in the final stages of testing, and we will just basically go over the last few things that I think we did not show in depth. Starting with right now, I guess the vehicle skins. I'm gonna join the game. We already started it, and I'm gonna show you, I guess, the Kettenkrad.
Cotton crab.
Cotton crab. Yeah. it's a little insect that. But so yeah, and I made sure to equip a little health box on it so that you can see a supply crate. So this is the ambush camouflage for the Kettenkrad. I'm going to try to not spin around so fast as to not give people motion sickness. And if you missed,
that's the one of the. Did we show that? That's one of the skins, right?
Oh, I'm getting already murdered by Splixen. That's a weird weapon name you have, Splixen. I wonder what that means.
What?
That guy, he's got his own language. Probably like some kind of inside joke.
I think seems like Dime Chris got one of the vet membership stuff. This is an awesome camo.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty pretty.
Yeah, it's.
But wasn't it you said that the Germans had like manuals to teach them how to paint camo?
This is actually one of the two different types of ambush. Everybody calls it ambush. We just figured out we need to come up with some our own names. I think it's actually developed by Daimler-Benz.
By Benz, so the Mercedes.
Yeah,
Mercedes.
Probably. Yeah, it's
Mercedes.
The Germans have a lot of different camouflage schemes.
Then there's like mysterious chair noises. Sorry. And, weiter. And so we have this one, and I'm going to give myself another one, vehicle variant. So that's the default factory skin. I guess what that is like. What gunmetal gray? What do we call that?
I think it's just factory.
Or factory.
Yeah.
And
we will be starting to add more and more camouflage scheme to the vehicle. The thing is that it's actually a two-way thing. First of all, we have to to arrange I think the guy that makes the vehicles have to, you could say, like break the vehicle a bit apart and assemble it again in order to get the rendering correct on the.
You seen this?
Yeah, on the vehicle on the paint scheme, and then we have to come up with the actual paint scheme. It's rendered what you would call like procedurally, which means it's actually sort of calculated. So it's not painted by hand. It's actually created by
there's an algorithm that
sort of like a shader algorithm that creates it.
So let's go back
then,
to
then we can actually dump it out. You just render it out. So once he's created this shader for this vehicle, it's and if he has created fixed up the UV coordinates for another vehicle, it should be easy to, or somewhat easy to just transfer the actual shader to another vehicle and have it apply that shader.
So, but let's say that again slowly, because there's a lot of content in that.
Yeah.
But okay, if we're looking at this, for example, every time, because it doesn't seem to. I mean, I don't see where it kind of tiles or loops.
It doesn't tile.
It doesn't tile,
it doesn't
right?
Tile.
So.
And it actually also, Hervile has gone to great lengths to make sure that the paint actually follows the curvature.
Yeah. So how does? I mean, so he
you'd
breaks
see
the vehicle apart.
Actually, in some other games where you have camouflaged, for example, tanks or planes, you would sometimes see that over an edge the camouflage would completely break, which it wouldn't break if it was real and you actually painted it yourself, and that's because the UV coordinates. And UV coordinates is where that's the relation between the polygon model and the texture image.
I remember that. I think you probably were not watching that one when Martin was showing how he was doing the skin for the PPD.
Yeah,
I think he showed the UV map.
Yeah,
and then he showed how it was like basically just unfolding the outer surface of the weapon in that case. But so the same thing for vehicles. You unfold the vehicle.
Yeah.
And then it gives a kind of like flow for the algorithm to paint the.
No. It's the UV coordinates. If for example you can see there on the edge of the vehicle here, the UV coordinates doesn't need to be positioned in the same place in the image, which makes it really hard to actually paint the camouflage scheme by hand because you don't know where the edges will jump around on the image. But if you create it as an you say a calculated shader, you have the computer calculate the painting by its what you would call like the world space or the position of a polygon in space instead. That means you will have a quite strange bitmap for the camouflage, but you will make sure that everything fits together.
Right.
So that takes some time to prepare the model.
It sounds like it takes some time.
Yeah. But once you've done the shader at least, then you can apply it to all the vehicles that where you have fixed the actual rendering setup for so like you bake it into the model.
So Hervile has to go through all the vehicles.
He has to go through all the vehicles and prepare the vehicles, and then we have to when you introduce a new camouflage scheme, he actually has to go through the vehicles and render it out, but it takes some time to actually create the shader that does the camouflage as well.
This is why.
Yeah,
the camo is only available for
and
this.
It's like if you ever heard of like a noise function, you could put that into a shader. Noise function would just give you a lot of noise in the texture. That's kind of like a procedural texture. That's a way to calculate some black and white noise into a texture rather than painting it by hand. A little more advanced version of the noise is a Perlin noise, which gives combining some curves and stuff. But it actually, it's you get into this you know fractals. Yeah. Sort of like in that kind of area where you have a pattern that's calculated rather than painted. And that's what Ville has done. He's like taken some of those functions and combined them and tweaked them into like simulating this paint scheme.
So if I look at, because this is the same one, so these two vehicles have the same same skin, and actually wait, I have to place myself here, I guess, so you can see both of them at the same time. And It's funny because they don't look like it's exactly
Not exactly the same.
not exactly the same.
But they obviously he can scale them a little bit if you want. If it's a big difference of applying this to a small vehicle versus a large vehicle. When he applies this, for example, to the King Tiger, he'll probably have to scale up the texture, the shader a little bit in order to. Otherwise, it would just simply be too detailed.
I'm kind of boxed in. I'm gonna try and get out of there so I can drive around a little bit more. I don't know if I can somehow. Nope, that's not happening. I'm gonna just spawn another one. What's up with your weapon name, Splixen? I'm sure, like, if you paste that in the game somehow, it kind of unlocks something. That's how weird Splixen is. And so I'm gonna spawn a vehicle again. Actually, well, we looked at the Kübelwagen. I'm gonna.
I think just to answer this.
Whoops, that's not what I wanted.
What do you want?
I want the Jeep.
All right.
The 4x4. So this one has. I think we showed that one.
Yeah.
I think
This is actually pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit more low key, but I really like it.
Yeah.
I really think
It reminds me so much of the Danish army in the 70s. Had this camo scheme on all the armored vehicles.
Didn't they like borrow a lot of stuff from NATO?
Oh yeah.
So basically, there's like standard NATO stuff that was. Oh.
They borrowed everything except this bad boy.
Yeah, which we forgot to show it last time.
We did,
right? The lions on it. If you can.
Oh yeah. It's also in this one. Actually,
it's also in this one. Yeah, it's more visible on this one. So if you, I don't know if you can see, it's. Yeah. I'm gonna kind of move it here so that. It's so hard to do it as a mirror image. Anyway. So yeah, you do it. Yeah, see it. Yeah. And then you got it. You got it. And you see the 3 blue lions with with little hearts and all that. It's what's with the hearts? I'm not sure what the.
It's a bit too small for me.
People were hobbits back in the this is like from.
It must be my giant brain.
No, but when is it from?
No. This is Danish.
No, but when is it from?
I would say like 70s as well, something.
So yeah, okay. I was gonna say people were hobbits in the 40s, but apparently not. So I should.
You were hobbits in the 40s.
Yeah, weren't they? I mean, when we went to the Arsenal Museum and we're seeing all these uniforms, and they looked like they were meant for like children, and well, some of them were very kind of. I don't know. Is it that people look bigger in war movies because
they are bigger.
They are bigger. But so, and this is right here. We have the gas.
Yeah, it's actually a little bit more obvious here that the pattern is somewhat generated. It's a nice pattern though, but it's
very it's very alien. I like it. Actually, it's supposed to be, if I understand correctly, what was it called again? You had the like. Not Voroshian.
It's actually named after some.
It's after a swamp, right?
Yeah, it's a Soviet Russian swamp. Swamp. Yeah.
Sumpf. So, yeah, it's kind of nice, and so that's the 3 basically infantry vehicle, the truck camo that we have. And the 2 camos that are available for the Kettenkrad. Was there something else I wanted to show in the action game before I close it? Nope, I don't think so. I guess we'll say thank you, Splixen, for shooting me in the face. It's always a pleasure. Actually, don't you have any other weird weapon names that you can? No? Okay, so next time, I guess. I'll get out of there. And I guess we can move on to...
What's the next thing? What is actually the plan for today, other than talking a little bit about the next couple of things? And we're gonna...
We might as well mention, like we said, that we can like alternate fun stuff with boring stuff.
You mean super fun stuff with fun stuff?
Exactly.
I just wanted to tell people that we're going to have, when we're done with this, we will take some QA from the chat if time permits.
Yes.
So,
so now we're going to do some blah blah blah. Where are we in the? We mentioned that we're fixing bugs. We're in the last kind of stretch of fixing bugs.
Yeah.
You had this little. I'm going to show that again.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Just
so that you can explain how the whole process works, right? Of developing a new update.
Yeah. Does the mouse, the pointer, get twitched as well, so people can see where you point?
Do we see that actually, Senor Cameraman? Colin? Hello, Thomas. Do we see the mouse pointer when I'm moving around, or is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So do you want the mouse, or should I?
Yeah.
Or I
just
could point at stuff. Or
pass me the mouse, and
I will pass you the mouse.
I think this is something we covered this before, but it's always good to.
It's a little recap.
Yeah, to show it again, just because
what's going on.
To tell you a little bit about how stuff works inside of Reto.Moto here. This is a very simplified version of our we call us like the server tree or.
Development tree, I guess.
Yeah, development tree.
Yeah.
All these balls actually represent a server that contains a version of the game. Up in the top you have the live server. Obviously that contains the version of the game that you guys are playing. And just below it we have a stable server, which actually right now contains the young update, which is being tested. The way we work with this stuff is that if we start up working on a new feature, we put it on one of the green circles here, all the way down at the bottom, because then we can work isolated on that feature until it works and not get interrupted with somebody else changing the code. If
like some guy works on a new vehicle, some guy works on a new like the spawn protection feature, right?
Yeah. And
so keep those separate.
Yeah,
right?
and suddenly the one feature that one guy is working on might change the whole way the other feature works. So it can get quite annoying that many people work on different features in the same you say code base. So that's why we separate it out on different. Servers. We call them streams. That's basically just because that's what they call in we use something called Perforce, which is a versioning control software that keeps everything organized on the servers. Other version control software solutions call them for branches instead. You can say it's a branch.
Can I ask you something? When you start working on a new build, the dev server will it basically contain the game as it exists in the previous version?
You can say like the dev server. You see, I marked it out here as yellow. Is actually you can say the connecting line between everything. So once you
the starting point for the next build.
If you start up a new feature, you would say, "Oh, I need to start a new feature," and you go in and ask. Dr. Goonstah, which one of the stream servers are free? He'll say, okay, you can have Charlie. You'll get the Charlie server. Then you start by copying everything from the development server, from dev, the yellow one, down to Charlie, which means that you're now working on the latest version of the game. And then you just start developing your feature. Once the feature is complete, you run some tests or some QA or some testing on it to see if it actually works the way you want it to work. And when it's sort of like greenlit from a feature and from a test perspective with bugs, you start to prepare to move your changes back up to the dev server. And how you do that is actually by, again, taking all the differences from the dev server down to the Charlie server. So you actually start copying all sorts of new stuff that might have entered the dev server while you were just working on Charlie. And that might take a few days to actually do that, because people start working, people constantly commit new stuff to the dev server. So it takes a while to actually get the goal is to get Charlie to be identical to dev, so you can actually copy your changes up to dev instead of have them working. So you can't copy your new feature up to dev before it actually runs on Charlie. So with the changes from dev.
All this, I guess I've kind of like neglected to kind of say why we're showing this again. It's just to show where we're at right now.
Yeah, it's also show that sometimes in both on the forums and in the chat, people say, why can't you just fix this and this? And it's sometimes because...
why can't you put this in?
Yeah, why can't you just put this in? Because and at some of the features, when we decide to put them in, it takes several months for them to actually hit live. And in that time, they sit on different servers, and it's virtually impossible just straight up copy them to live. We might ruin a lot of other stuff in the process of doing that. So it might sound easy from the gamer's perspective. This is just a game. Why can't they just fix this and this? Behind the curtain, it's way more complicated, and we have to do it this way in order to be able to work. This many people working on the same project at the same time. It's the
that's the thing, right? And everybody has their specialty. I think that we were talking about. We sometimes hear a guy saying, like, there's several guys who like come up sometimes with like, hey guys, I have an idea. Stop everything. Everybody works on just the code. Stop doing graphics. Everybody should just do code. And it's like, do you want me to do brain surgery on you? It's like,
you can't do that.
I've never done it before, but I could do it. It's like,
people in here have different skills. Some are good at drawing. Some are good at programming. Some are good of making sounds. And stuff. So it's different skills, and so it's not possible to just take everybody to fix one bug. That's just crazy.
So I guess we don't want to spend too much time on this.
Actually, the important thing is that to say that a new feature actually travels all the way up through this tree and finally hits live. When it's at some point, our producer would go in and say, now I'm ready for another build, this C build or whatever, we could say young build. Then he would look at dev and see what's on dev, and he said, this is good enough for me to make a nice build. And then will move everything on dev up to the test server, just one step up. And when it's on the test server, we can sort of say, this is like, it's closed now. So now we just focus on fixing bugs in this environment. Nothing new will get into this build until it has hit live. So some people have features that needs to be tested or bug fixed that goes onto the next update, and some might not. So they just keep continue working on dev or one of the substreams. So that's why we sort of like separated there in the test. And when it's sort of like close to being finished, we move it up to stable. Which
but
as you see, this is the public, local, and what do you call it? Public and local servers. It's when we move stuff to the stable server, we can start to invite people in to actually test stuff. So that it's also an issue with this is that we might move it to a different server just in order to get people from outside to log on and play it. Obviously, we have a lot more servers than that are just in this image here. It's just to simplify that I only took a few of them and put them in.
So I think if we want to have time to do QA, Q&A, because QA here stands for, we don't say it often, quality assurance.
Quality assurance, which is a bit different from test. Testing is just finding bugs, and quality assurance is making sure that the stuff is good. That's the quality of it, the stuff we're doing. So it's a bit different.
So we had to show something. I'm gonna just flip some of our steps around here. I don't think I've shown this last time. I showed the campaign map, the strategy game. We kind of not really fixed, but implemented something that was requested for a while. That is that pathfinders should be able to receive airplanes
Yeah.
by air. If they, especially in Sardinia, there was this situation where if you fly, I'm going to do it now. So if you go and take that airfield, so now what's going to happen is like I send my pathfinders, they're gonna drop on it because it's neutral. So now they've captured it. If they need their reinforcements, they actually where are they? Are they the same ones?
Flew back.
I think, but it's these ones.
Yeah.
So these ones are actually no, it's not these ones. It's these,
Oh.
or these. Yeah, these ones.
Oh.
They are back at the origin point, and you can just send them, ta-da, and they fly like as you logically would expect them to do. Well, now they are logical. So if you go and take.
So now they're flying again.
And if you go, that means also if you go behind enemy lines and you manage to, with just your paratroopers, to take an airport,
Yeah.
an airfield, then you can actually get your wings back. Actually, but the wings, I just tried without thinking to send my airplanes to go get my paratroopers over a village. They can't do that. So the paratroopers have to go back to an airfield to actually receive their reinforcements. And that's actually all there is to it, to that. But actually, that will make the whole paratrooper gameplay a little bit less surprising.
Yeah. So now we need to remove all the supply lines that go across the sea.
Oh yeah, like no, but exactly right, because there's a like Bornholm.
Yeah.
For some reason, it has a gigantic bridge.
No, it's ships.
Yeah.
We will visit the map again. We have actually done some changes to the map this time around.
That's true. That's the other thing we wanted to talk about. Right. So, can you show me some of that? So, where should I go to find those?
We could go to the Ardennes. Have done
like this here. Does it always been
that's
there?
Denmark. That's not the Ardennes.
No, but I'm saying like were there so many bridges to Sweden before?
That's what we like actually.
Right.
No, that's only one. Yeah, that's
so let's go to the Ardennes.
Yeah,
which
it's hard to show here, but
somewhere here, isn't it?
Maybe I should just take the mouse and just show you here.
Let's avoid it.
Thank you. Oh, shit. We have. It's very hard to see when it's all neutral, but we removed several of the you could say the bridges in this area in order to make a few more.
Maybe zoom in if you can.
It's all over this area.
It's all over. Okay.
It's all over this area. It's just to make sure that the road from Amsterdam to Berlin is somewhat more difficult now. It gives the Germans a bit more protection from Berlin in this area. I don't know if it will have. It's probably not going to have a huge impact anyway, but it's something it makes it a bit easier for them to defend actually. And the big change is, do you have an assault team I can move, or do you only have paratroopers?
I only have paratroopers. I didn't think you wanted to move stuff. Well, there's actually maybe you can just equip one on one of my guys.
Let's go, yeah.
Or you can do that.
Nothing happened? Oh, sorry. I need to go.
There's good.
There you go. Yeah, I looked at the choke points that goes through the Alps and decided that they were simply just too choky. So we have added several other battlefields through the mountain passes to make sure that it's going to be harder to defend now.
But that means also that if you want to kind of block in advance, you have like simultaneous battles for the same area, not just one battle that decides.
It should also actually introduce. It should produce some more battles actually. So
which is what we want.
Yeah, because we can see that
more war battles.
The war pretty much got stuck in these lines, so we're trying to loosen them up a bit by adding some more battlefields around them. I've also added some more ways here. You can see you can actually access through the that would be the Eastern Alps all the way down to
Vienna is not a capital city, is it?
Nope.
Is it? There's Budapest and
Vienna.
Prague. Isn't Prague one?
Prague is
or not?
No, Prague is up here.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Where is Vienna?
somewhere that is it's easy to.
And on top of that, you can see for actually just for the fun of it, added a very, very difficult route on the ridge of the Alps. So there's a mountain pass here that goes along the Alps instead. But it's a very, very long stretch of single battlefields, which will be, I think it will be super hard to capture this. So, but still, it's somewhat. If you put your defenses over here, it's going to be something you want to cover, because otherwise you can actually get enemies flanking you from behind there. So I think also here you get an extra line down here. What did I do over here? We added some a
Croatia.
bit more, yeah. Down here a little bit more. Let's see. So generally, trying to pinpoint some of the worst choke points and loosening them up a bit to see if we can create some more battles actually. Yeah, what more did we do? I actually also did. I might remove that again, but it's an removed a few of the lines between England and France, and then we put in some fun lines here from England to Denmark, and from Denmark to Norway and Sweden, and I think here a lot of more battlefields in Sweden as well. We want to have some more battles between Soviet Union and America. That's the reason for trying to put more stuff in this area.
So in total, you added what, 500?
About 500 new battlefields has been added. Some it's probably a bit more because I also removed some of the old ones. So it has changed a bit, and I rewired quite a bit of the supply lines as well. So, but new campaign map level design, yeah.
The thing around the Alps looks really actually like a cool puzzle to try and work around.
See how this goes.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think. Also, when you're in the war, I'm gonna go back to my heroes here. So let's say with Ludwig van Liethoven, I want to go and join a war battle. Now we have this indication that there is an underdog bonus going on, and you see it like if you hover over it, it says U.S. soldiers will receive an underdog bonus in this battle, plus 134%. This is rank XP and war funds.
Yes, sir.
And so this underdog bonus is dynamic. It changes while the game runs. This one is based on how many people are logged in on your faction, or on all factions, really. Basically, it just tells you that basically US is the underdog right now, and I'm afraid I have to kind of cycle through it. And then USSR is also getting a smaller underdog bonus, so they're basically like second place in terms of how many people are logged in currently.
The system takes the largest faction and puts that to no bonus, and the other factions just get a bonus. And obviously the bonus will be smaller the closer they are to the same size.
And of course,
so and the bonus is calculated every time a battle is started in the war. The bonus is recalculated.
And we have to say that the bonus applies for if you start the battle. You see this when you start the battle. The bonus applies at the battle. When the battle ends, also as in you get this for playing that battle in the action game.
Yeah.
But if you're a general, you get the bonus that's applicable when the battle ends.
Yeah,
right?
on your assault teams.
Right. So that's okay. So it's just like a distinction we have to make.
Yeah. So it's not that you can quickly join them the war, and then because there will be a lot of fluctuations in the player amounts in the beginning of a war, I guess. Obviously, that will even out over quite a fast time, and as more people join the underdog, the lesser the bonus actually. So let's see how this turns out. It's not our final solution for the balancing of the war, but it's one more step in the direction.
But the idea is that you get an even number.
Yeah,
on
just
each side
incentive
and,
to actually play on the underdog, because you actually get more of your soldiers will level up faster, quite a lot faster actually. And this obviously go on top of the war bonus in the first place. So you get a war bonus, you get this on top, and you have veteran membership also gets on top of this.
Thanks for mentioning that. That's something I didn't even think of putting on the the agenda. But this here, we don't see it because that battle we played was it counted as a stage battle.
Yeah.
But when you play a war battle, you're going to see it broken down. It's going to be like 2 extra rows in here. If you play a war battle, you will see your underdog bonus and your war bonus will be listed in the battle report down here, which currently they are not, and it confuses some people when they go, hey, where's my war bonus?
Yeah.
You only see your veteran bonus right now on
That
live.
makes sense.
And so we fixed that. You see a breakdown of both your war and underdog bonuses, and which is this here. When I say a war bonus, is this one here, 50% rank XP, 50% ribbon XP, plus of course you earn war funds. So yeah, that also should make quite a few people happy.
Yeah. And the number is calculated from the online players that have joined the war. So if we don't count in the players who have not joined the war. So
yeah, no, right. So but it's the online players.
It's when they're online. So it doesn't. It changes when people go offline again. So
I think honestly it sounds like a good idea. Let's hope it.
Yeah, it might need some tweaking, but we need to see the numbers before we start tweaking. Now we put it out there, and then we check the how it actually performs. So
I guess next.
I need to say also we removed the Soviet bonus. Sorry, Soviet. I guess the Americans and the Germans are happy now. So yeah, and obviously we need to remove that before the underdog bonus hits the live servers. I think some players have been complaining that why don't we just hotfix it up, the removal of the underdog or the discount for the Soviets. And the reason is that hotfixes in our terminology is actually only allowed when something is really broken. The game stops running, for example. The servers collapse or something. Then we need to put up a fix for the servers in irregular times. Other than that, every change that comes to the game is rolled up in the Tuesday maintenance build instead. So that's why it's that we will not just take the servers down just to fix stuff all the time. We need to do it on a weekly basis.
Actually, I think there was one thing you mentioned: reinforcement speed. Don't show this right now, please. Can you not show that? Yeah, thank you.
That's too late.
Too late. It's been seen. Yeah, but just we're not gonna. Where was that thing?
Well, it can't come as a total surprise for people that
no.
Exactly. Administrator options to the game.
No, I think we've shown it before, but just so that it. And I just need. Wait a minute. How come? Oh yeah, it's still the. Okay, good. All right, now you can show stuff. Thank you. It's yeah. I'm sorry. I forget what we're supposed to show and not show. So. No, but I guess now it's no secret that we need to be able to artificially boost our units to test stuff. Reinforcement speed.
Yeah,
that's something also we need to.
The reinforcements now travel on different speeds than before. Before the speed of reinforcements were dictated by the assault team speed, which is a bit weird, actually. But that's how it was, and there was let's see if I can remember a bug that caused it to change speeds once the reinforcement reached the assault team. But now they travel at now the reinforcements have their own speed.
So yeah, I've just realized that what I'm trying to show I won't be able to, because there's no way to separate the AT from its the men from the vehicles. But
like you see, basically in the first instant, the men travels the fastest because we just assume that they get transported to the front via
train, right?
Train, for example. And the equipment vehicles are also like tanks are also shipped to the front via train, but it takes more time to actually load a train with tanks than just put some soldiers in some train cars. And that's why the tanks will travel at slower speed to the front. So equipment are slower, and obviously the planes travel very fast because they fly.
So like we see when I send my planes to reach these guys over there. Yeah. That's like the plane's reinforcement speed is like just whoop, and then there you are. Okay, well I guess that's all we can show like with this setup right now. We should head into the Q&A. I guess maybe we should quickly show before that the Battle Vision contest winners for this week. For this month.
There's also some Reddit stuff that
we have to do a shout out to the guys that the guys who organized the community night thingy. What is it? Does it have a real official title? It's just Reddit community night.
I think it's just
get together online.
Night, yeah.
So and it's a guy called Hands on Life. I don't know how many words it is. If it's Hanson Life or Hands on Life. Anyway, it's spelled the same, so just all in one word.
Hanson Life. Han Solo son.
Yes. I vote for that.
So Hanson Life says, our dear old Robotron.
Yes.
Sorry.
Can we get the? Yeah,
we shouldn't make fun of people's names.
Yeah, but is there a? What have we got there?
I have no idea. Community night.
No, it's called Community Night. So that's the official title.
Go ahead, screenshot.
So yeah, shout out to the guys who organized that thing. Screenshots. So these are the winners of the Battle Vision contest. I'm gonna pause it. So this one is actually we can't see the titles while I'm in slideshow mode. There is Truzy B. 125 with this picture called Civilian Transport, and it's a bunch of guys in the back of a civilian truck. I guess it's really back to basics before this one where it's a glorious apparently some guy trying to team kill with a knife. Good luck with that. But it's called We'll Settle This the Old-Fashioned Way, Pull Out Your Knife, and it's by Mandem J. Again, I have no idea how it's pronounced.
We should actually try to have the computer speak
like a computer voice. I would
computer voice. Just
like,
put people's that would be funny.
Yeah. This one is by Rikia, I guess, 99, or Rick JE 99, and it's called My. And does it mean mine? As in mine.
You just want the next one.
They want the next. Oh yeah, so it's mine. Mine. Okay. And this one is called Get Out and Fight Soldier. So it's basically a guy giving a pep talk in the back of his half track. But it's kind of cool with the explosion in the background, so you can see that there's a reason why the guy doesn't want to get out and fight. So that's it for this month's Battle Vision contest. Probably a little bit low key, but yeah, well, thanks for submitting your entries. All the guys who were selected as finalists were awarded with 2,000 gold, unless the rules changed. No, it's still the same rules.
Yep.
And I guess we could just quickly show the page. This is on Steam, Battle Vision screenshot contest. So if you look for that on Steam, this is where you want to submit your screenshots. And the new theme is called Do or Die. You have until the 17th of November to send in your submissions. Next thing we want to... Yeah, that's it. So we're Q&A.
Yeah. Q&A. Just if you write questions in the Twitch chat,
we might
either
have
write them
answers.
directly to me, Red Bjarne, or to Robotron, and he'll post them to me via Skype if he finds them super interesting. Otherwise, I'll just try and go through them as they pop up. And please don't just spam the same question over and over again. And also, I have to say from Spexen that both codes from his weapons have been found and used. So congratulations for the 2 winners, which I don't know who is.
Did we find out who did? Who was fastest?
Who was the fastest? Hunger junk in the galaxy. Yes.
Cool. Actually, I wonder, the new Sith guy in the new Star Wars, is it Boba Fett? I'd like it to be Boba Fett.
He's dead.
No, he would shoot his way out of the Sarlacc pit monster. Like there's a comic book spin-off where you see like Boba Fett shooting his way out of.
But he dies.
But you don't know that he dies. Like he's gonna be slowly digested over 1,000 years or something.
That's
like,
true.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but you don't know. So it would be cool. But maybe.
But he's a clone.
So
Yes,
we got some messages.
Sorry.
You're saying clones can't use the Force? Is that what you're saying?
Drugs for Hogs. Red Bjarne, can you change the looks for the pumpkin Russian paratrooper and add different camouflage for them?
It's a very
Russian
pale pumpkin. I would say it looks like more like a butternut squash. The color. Yeah. No.
I think requests for changes on the characters' uniforms and stuff. It's actually some threads on the forum that you can post them in there, and I know that the artists that are working on the characters are looking at those. They might not be like super responsive in posting stuff out there, but they at least they look at them. So put your requests out there.
Actually, so good.
Then there's from Ice Dice. When will the update come? Very soon, TM. We're counting, hopefully, days now. It's Petzer and Burnout DV who got the Spixen codes.
I'm looking at I was in a good friend the internet looking for pictures of paratroopers from World War II Soviet Russia, and I that's pretty much the color we got. Now this is a different, right? They got 2 different shades.
Yeah, I think that's
like it. So I guess you could have a slightly darker version. I don't know if they had other. I'm gonna keep looking for more.
There's a question from Watchbear. Would it be possible for recons to have a special bonus for those who don't sit back at 300 meters? The thing is that our bonus system is created so that everybody who performs a certain action actually gets the bonus. So we will not make a special bonus if you capture one as a recon. That's not gonna fly. So in order to give a special bonus for recons for doing something in the game, we need to come up with a thing that only recons do. So, Mr. Tichno is asking, can you give some information on the price of the new guns vehicles?
Can we? I guess we can.
Yeah, you can just show it in the UI if you want to.
If it's wait, not yet. Please, thank you.
No.
Right. Where is it?
There's another one. This bird's on fire is asking, can we get guns on paraplanes? That would be fucking awesome. Sorry, I'm not swearing this in this channel. Otherwise we're gonna
get channel.
Yeah, this is a family channel. So that would be super nice.
Gosh darn.
I think that question has been asked before.
Okay, so now we can look at the interface.
Silver Lake is obviously once again for the I think millionth time asking for his hoodie, and I can say to him that I'm not the hoodie guy, so stop asking me. It's like I think it's actually a sort of like a parameter for this Silver Lake guy is constantly asking for this hoodie, and it's the more he asks, it's like the further away from the hoodie he gets. So if he stops asking, then he might get closer and closer to the hoodie.
Screw it, I'm gonna. Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, we've showed it already, so.
There's one more. Can you please X-Fail? Can you show us the prices for the new weapons and skins?
Yeah, that's what I'm. So, but we can we verify that there? Okay, so that's not a new weapon, but
Infectosh is asking when character statistics will be back. Can't say anything precise about that. We are going to roll up the new StatDB
leaderboard.
StatDB is going to be implemented after the young, just because we do not want to like activate too many crazy changes at the same time. So first young, and then we're going to switch to the new server a week or two after. After that, we are closer to being able to say anything about the new leaderboards, or at least just some statistics from your profile. But yeah, it's. I know why people are going, oh, my stats are gone. They're not gone. We record it. We just don't show it yet because it's such a different server structure that it's impossible to just like copy it over. It works in a completely different way. The Dominion network is just saying nothing.
What do you mean?
And then there's the Partisan PL. When will you fix the scope on the M1919?
It means the iron sights.
The iron sights on the.
He doesn't want them.
They will probably be fixed when we at some point make an iron sight pass where we can switch the iron sights on the weapons. We have been creating several like new iron sights. I think actually the M1 carbine actually was produced with a few different types of iron sights, and we have those. So we are sort of like working on. It's just a huge task to actually go through all the weapons and change the iron sights. So it has a bit of a low priority.
So let me just do one more thing. I just realized it's hard to show the prices that.
There's a Hyman 25.
Yeah.
It's saying, do you make more real camouflages for the Russian infantry? The camouflages and the skins for the characters we just like build them as we go along. So and I actually don't know if there's any new Soviet infantry camouflages in the pipeline, but I'll check up on that.
Okay, there we go. Okay, so
I know the character guys have been looking into different helmets and stuff instead. So
the prices. We wanted to look at the prices. So if I go and now we can show it. Look at the Kettenkrad will cost you 79,000 credits or 950 gold, and you need to. I just unlocked it, so too late for that. But it's on the driver ribbon. Which where are the ribbons now? Here.
Yeah, the UI has changed, so
the UI has moved a little bit.
So it will continue to be evolving.
So you need like driver ribbon level 11 to unlock the Kettenkrad, and so if you want, like if let's say I buy it and I want the skin for it, so there you get your camo for 400 gold, or that's 100,000 credits, or light olive for 250 gold, or 63,000 credits, and let's go for a Kübelwagen. The ambush camo is 400 credits, And I think, right, I mean, if I don't have to go through all the factions, they're pretty much the same, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so too, but I'm
this
not-
is the first time we introduce skins for vehicles, those prices might actually be tweaked. We need to say
Let me see
it's
that.
basically
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same for all the trucks,
Yeah.
basically.
basically the sort of more vanity-ish items in the game have we base the price a lot on popularity.
And what's the other thing we wanted to show? The Soviet PPS.
Should I take another question here?
Yeah, sure.
Uh,
So let's see. This guy wants a PPS.
There's this Birds on Fire again is saying the amphibious tank I showed ya. Can you show it?
Which one?
I think he means
The Sherman with the big scuba snorkel thing.
No. There's one from one of the other Twitch sessions. Sorry. No, we can't show it because I can't remember which one it was. Then there's the Maschinengewehr 42. When will the feet of the MG42 become a function? That's the bipod he refers to. I guess.
No feet. They're actual large rubber feet.
No. The bipod function has been disabled for the young build because we didn't think it was good enough. Hopefully, next build, it will be there. So,
But it's getting there.
Then there's Sir Aimbot Lockshot is saying, what are your thoughts about War Thunder? War Thunder is a great game. That's my thought about it. I think it's cool.
Yeah, it's wrist o'clock. Apparently.
Are we going to?
I think we have to wrap it up a little bit. Some people have families to go back to. We can have fun. So, do we have 5 more minutes?
5 more minutes?
I don't know. It's like,
Let's see if
do we have 5 more questions?
Some fun. There's one guys keep asking to fix the 1919 iron sights. Will there ever? Jerry1138 is asking, will there ever be a restriction on the amount of weapons of a same type, like machine guns, in one team? We have discussed this quite a bit, like sort of adding weapon classes as sort of like a resource, in the same way as you have light tanks and medium tanks and men in the game. But we keep coming back to the conclusion that it would be too restrictive for the game, so it would be really, really hard to make to matchmake into a game. So but it's something that comes up once in a while. So,
because that's the thing with like one of the biggest challenges we have is we have to have a matchmaker that gets people quickly where they want to be, but at the same time that respects the requirements of the strategy game.
You say like the game is one of the great things about the game is that it has such variety, like planes and tanks and all sorts of different weapons and stuff. But also that poses a problem for the matchmaker because it also means that our user base is actually kind of small in each subsection. We have a large user base, but not everybody is using the same thing, which means that the number of players who select the same thing is actually pretty small. And then we start to put in the skills and is it war, is it stage, and everything. So the number of available players in each category for the matchmaker actually shrinks pretty fast. And adding weapon
restrictions
will actually make that worse.
So you can't be that guy in that battle with that gun.
No,
because then there's not the other guy on the other side.
We have been discussing a cool another way of looking at the resource is to that's somewhat similar. That you start the game with X amount of machine guns, for example, and then you use them up, and then you have to switch to another weapon during the battle. So you can say that the machine gun represents 3 spawns with a machine gun, and then you have to go with your rifle for the rest of the battle, for example. Okay,
so you get basically your personal tickets.
Yeah, so you could say that would be one way of solving. We talked about this in the same way with vehicles. We have been talking about changing the for example the tank gameplay to instead of you play with this, you have, for example, 10 spawns with a light tank, then you as a player have 10 light tanks instead. So you can actually have you can have 10 different tanks. You have your like 2 expensive tanks and a lot of cheap tanks, and then you can sort of like say, okay, these guys are not as good as I thought they were, so I'm gonna switch and spawn some of my cheaper, not as effective tanks for the rest of the battle, so the players can match the vehicles and the weapons a bit more. And I think also it would bring some value to the
stuff you already have.
Yeah, but also the
right
stepping over vehicles. I think one thing I like playing World of Tanks a lot. I think it's really great that they have all these. They have like a massive amount of tanks. But sometimes it feels like you're looking at a tech tree and you point at one tank and say, I want this tank. Yeah. And the tanks you have to get there. So like it's just like this, like it's just
they don't matter as much.
It's just stepping stones to get to your goal, and it would be nice to have a system where your old stuff matters as well.
That's kind of what I mean by saying the stuff you already have. You want to go back to it. I mean, you work so hard on it, and then you want to get it like even your low powered tank. You want to kind of customize it so that it's nice. Yeah. When you need to fall back on it, or you want to. Yeah. We wanted to show the price for the PPS 43. I think it's hidden by my face. It's 225,000 credits, or 2,700 gold, and it's available at all your Soviet weapon handlers. Yeah. So I guess that's pretty much for the new stuff in terms of what the new stuff costs. Oh wait, we forgot the M1 carbine, I guess. If I can find my guys. I like this new thing where you... it's hidden by my face again. But we showed it once, I think. I'll show it again. You can select... I just want to see my infantrymen, or I just want to see, in this case, my paratroopers, and they have to be American. Oh, I don't have any. I just want to see my tankers, and... if I'm shopping for a M1 carbine, I haven't unlocked it yet. I'm gonna select all my Americans and see which one can get the. No, so I can't show it. It's on the other server, so that's why I can't show it right now. I would have to unlock.
That's one of the problems with running all these different servers and streams, is that your profile is different on all the different servers. So.
But it's probably again thereabouts. Do we?
We have one thing. We have one thing I need to say.
Yeah.
We have a super awesome player. His name is Pitbull 1973, and it's his birthday today. So
it's his birthday.
We'll say happy birthday. That's it. I don't think we have more questions or time for more questions, do we?
Yeah. One
question.
I'm told one.
And I need to find one that doesn't trigger me talking for half an hour. Impossible. I'm just gonna pick one. That sounds.
You got quite a list there.
Well, there is Airborne 447. Will there be a mechanic to reward players for partially damaging a tank? People have been annoyed for using Panzerschreck to shoot a tank, only for it to get destroyed by a friendly. As it is now, you actually get XP for damaging a tank.
You just don't get the message, I guess.
No, we put that in, so you will get you get XP for damage, but you also get the XP for the kill. Mm. We do not have a system right now to actually just notice, to sort of like mark the tank as the first hit was done by this guy, and if it ever heals up again, that flag is cleared. So we don't have you could say like a proper way to give you an assistant kill rather than kill stealing. And I think the kill stealing is a problem in games, and we should actually look into it, getting it fixed at some point.
But isn't it? I think I talked to Reto.Goonstah, and he was saying that you don't necessarily get a message like a kill or damage message for everything every time.
Did it?
You like if you're like gunning down somebody with an SMG, you don't get one message per bullet.
You don't get one message per bullet. He
Yeah.
actually starts. He stacks them, so you just otherwise you just get like message spam in the UI. So he actually he folds them into if the same action happens a lot of times in a row, he just puts them into one.
So I don't recall seeing like armor damage, so many XP. Maybe you don't get a message, but you're saying you get the XP, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that what you just said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do get your own XP for damaging armor. So
Yeah.
but like, probably you don't get the message. I haven't checked it out. I don't know if Splixen can chime in here. No. Do we get a message for damaging armor? Besides, armor penetrated. Yeah, he's like making the thinking hard face.
If
we maybe could answer that next week.
we put in a lot of new triggers both for the XP and for the credit earnings and everything. So it might be one of those where we put in the credit one and not the XP. I can't really remember specifics on just this one. But
so you might be getting rewards but not XP, or we'll need to check on that and answer that later. Actually, I'll go and check it out on the server as soon as we're done here. So do we call it a day? We said one more.
One more again?
No, we said one more. That was it.
That was it.
That was it. Unless you want to repeat the cycle. So today we talked about a whole bunch of things: vehicle skins, more changes to the strategy game. Especially the war map has some cool new changes. Paratroopers now get their reinforcements by air. We got also a special guest, Reto.Goonstah, who explained what happened with the malware last week. And
Goonstah.
He had this actually lab coat from the Kingdom Hospital. You know that if you are old enough, you probably saw Kingdom on TV in the 90s. I did, as I was on Canadian TV, and it was really pretty cool. Lars von Trier's Kingdom, so that's the hospital. It exists. Not sure about the Satanists in the basement, but
they exist too.
They exist too.
I live just next. I actually live just next to the hospital, and there's plenty of Satanists.
You know all about that.
Österbro is filled with the spelt women and Satanists.
Gotta love Denmark. So thank you for watching. Thank you for playing. See you next week.
Bye bye.